Well, thanks for joining us today. My name is Dan Meyer, Editor-in-Chief at RCR Wireless News, and today we're joined by Ed Schmidt, who's the Executive Director of the Developer Program Team at AT&T, to talk a bit about AT&T's upcoming Developers Conference. So, hey, Ed, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Great, Dan. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Great. Well, the event's coming up here pretty quickly. Looking at the calendar, it's the first, I guess, telecom event on the 2016 calendar. So that's kind of exciting, but kicks off the year. So maybe start off with maybe get a little background from you on the event itself. I know you guys have been doing this for several years now, but maybe some background on the event and I guess AT&T's just general interest when it comes to the developer community.
Sure. Yeah. So this is 10th time we've had this developer summit. We've had a developer program since 1996 with a general mission to help third parties and developers create applications for the AT&T network and, of course, for our customers. Going forward, our goal is to be the premier connectivity and integrated solutions company. So when you think about that goal, you need to have an active developer community. You need to kind of make sure they have everything they need to create innovative solutions. And likewise, we like seeing what the developer community is creating so we can get feedback on it so that we can provide better support tools for them.
Got it. Makes sense. Now, I know it does seem kind of interesting because you guys have been very open about interacting with the developer community. I mean, this event you guys, like you said, been putting on for several years now. It's kind of at the very beginning of the CES show, which gets a lot of people as well. So it does seem like you guys are kind of one of the more vocal people out there, carriers out there, really working with the developer community, kind of get them involved in what you guys are doing. Which it seems like a nice, kind of a nice, looking from the outside looking in, looks like a really nice way to kind of deal with what's a growing part of the industry. Really, is again, software and development has really become a big part of this. So it seems like you guys have been pretty aggressive and really targeting and making sure you're kind of in touch with what's happening out there.
Absolutely. So, in addition to this event, which I'll talk about in a second, we do many hackathons, about 24 this year, get out in the community, and again, really try to work closely with developers at all levels and kind of give them guidance on what AT&T is doing, and also our partners so that they can be more successful. So if you look at the summit this year, it's changed a little bit. So hopefully most people are aware CES has gone from traditionally starting Tuesday to Wednesday. So with this, we usually do our summit the day before CES so people could come to our event and go right to CES. So instead of normally a 3-day event this year, we're doing a 4-day event where we're doing the hackathon over the weekend like we always do. That this year we'll have over 1,000 developers creating on AT&T platforms, with partner platforms, with about, I think we're around 300,000 in prizes. So a great opportunity across many different segments they're interested in. And then we also really strive to make it very educational. So we bring in a lot of sponsors with expertise to kind of help the developers. And then also something that everybody takes away. So we have something we call our swag room, where developers can go in and get Raspberry Pis, Arduino boards, watches, all this type of stuff to help create their solutions for the weekend. So again, that's kind of the traditional 48-hour hackathon. Our addition this year on Monday is we're making this kind of a focus, both technical training events. So we have both some outside speakers coming in, and we're doing a few of what we call our dev labs on AT&T products. So it's kind of a mix of AT&T stuff with some external stuff. We're also offering mentoring. We've been doing some of this in the hackathons where startups and small developers can meet with kind of more experienced ones to learn, see how they can be successful. And hopefully it's not just a technical piece, we're kind of helping them be more rounded and a better application overall. And then like we traditionally do, we like to reward our developers to have some entertainers in. So Kevin Spacey's going to come and talk in the afternoon. And then at night's going to be TJ Miller, who is from Silicon Valley. Tuesday will be our traditional summit schedule, big keynote in the morning where a focus will be smart panels, but as always, we'll have several CEOs on stage, some big announcements, and of course, the winners from the hackathon, the final 3 do their pitches live on stage. We have technical sessions in the afternoon, some networking, then we have a big party on Tuesday night where the band will be Royal Machines.
Perfect. I mean, it sounds like a very action-packed event. Obviously, a lot going on there, and it is interesting because you guys do get a lot of your executives, CEO level people, come and support this because again, this is a big part of the company, and it does seem like you're showing support from the top down to really kind of it just kind of show everybody that hey, we're serious about this. We got our CEOs that are involved in this. A lot of big executives come and speak at the event, so it does show you guys are pretty serious about this community. And really are showing support for what is like we said earlier, a growing part of this whole industry too. So it's interesting to see how you guys are able to do that as well. So
no, I'm glad you recognize that. No, from a developer program perspective, we're really lucky, just as you mentioned, the tremendous support we're getting from the executives, not only through that keynote, but even if you attend a lot of the afternoon sessions, we have, at least a dozen of our executives there. Then often, if people are kind of looking to talk to their executives, have an idea, get insights on something, they're often available through some of the networking and the rest of it. So yeah, we're, believe me, as a developer program person, very appreciative of AT&T support that way.
Yeah, and it's somewhat of a low-key event too, so there's not a lot of pressure to feel like, hey, you've got to be up on everything to kind of talk to people. It seems like everybody's in a very relaxed atmosphere, which is kind of nice too. Which kicking off the year, it's nice to have that coming out of the holidays. So that's appreciated as well. Yeah. So I guess now looking, how have the dynamics of this event changed over the few years? Because it does seem like that the telecom space, it seems most recently has seen a lot of changes in kind of some of the markets and some of the segments out there. I mean, IoT, 5G, video is a big part of it now. I mean, it seems like the market is changing so rapidly, and the developer community has been pretty core to a lot of this advances. I guess as you look at the event, how has it changed over the past several years, and how's that impacted, I guess, how AT&T views this event and the developer community in general?
Yeah, sure. So going back to the start of it, a lot of it was really about just helping developers even create mobile applications. For the people who watch this from a while, you may remember all the Java and the different fragmentations, the rest of it, and just getting that to work, or when it was kind of difficult configuring applications to work on the application stores, when you're doing from an enterprise perspective, security, which is still an issue, but even more of a challenge then, to creating VPNs, to connecting to the network at times. That was a big focus on the past, but as you're aware, and a lot of developers are, it's become more standard with a couple platforms that are kind of, a lot of that stuff's easier kind of creating the application. Now the challenge has been, is you're growing from just kind of mobile device to a multitude of devices. So number one, you mentioned IoT, that again brings not only kind of the issues of the connectivity and data management, but again, security, again, fragmentation. The same things always happen as you're kind of launching new ecosystems. That again, I think it's important we kind of give some guidance. Ideally, it's not another fragmented voice, but hopefully just some direction we're looking at there. And related to IoT, of course, then you have connected car with our AT&T Drive Studio, which obviously everybody knows a giant opportunity. There's the connected home, where AT&T has their digital life offer. Again, huge opportunity. A lot of developers already kind of creating both hardware, software there. And then this year, we're also kind of promoting smart cities, which of course is nothing new. We know people have been looking and working at that, but we're going to have both a custom platform we kind of created for the hackathon. And again, there'll be a big, big panel at the actual event to kind of just getting people to kind of think about that as another opportunity.
Yeah.
Additionally here then, we're always kind of talking about the network piece of this too. So there's been a lot of news about software-defined networking. So we don't have a very strong developer story on that yet. We're not sure what we're doing there, but we'll be kind of talking about just what AT&T is doing, because what I think about some of this from a software developer perspective isn't just kind of creating applications there, but AT&T as a company is making a massive shift to having a ton of jobs there. So again, if you're a college developer, not sure what to do, this kind of opportunity as the networks change from hardware to software is just a tremendous job opportunity. I've heard numbers at AT&T. It's like we've been hiring like 15,000 software developers over the last few years. So I think it's also kind of important to kind of point out those opportunities on a fundamental shift happening across like all the carriers. It just is more opportunity for software people.
Yeah, that's a great point. I know about a year ago, I think it was maybe a little more than a year ago, AT&T announced their big push for SDN and NFV across their network. And you're right, over the past year, I've been talking to a lot of people at AT&T about this. And yeah, they've been saying, hey, we need people who know this stuff. So, they're looking to the developer community, the software community to really come on board and help out with what AT&T is doing internally. So yeah, it seems like this is a great opportunity for people to get even more insight of what AT&T is actually doing in the space and get more insight into what's happening there. So, but again, it's good to see a company as large as AT&T really pushing the boundaries on a lot of these things, like you said, like smart cities and connected cars. And those are things that we've been talking about, obviously for years and years. But it seems like all the pieces are getting put into place now that really are driving, hey, this is actually going to be a market here, if not today, pretty shortly. It's going to be a big part of the community out there. So yeah, to see you guys really supporting that, it's good to see. It's definitely helping out, again, the software guys, because they're seeing the support, and obviously they want to get involved too. So it's a big part of it.
Yeah, boy, it is always interesting. Boy, going back to car or home or before the WebRTC, we've often had some of these as part of the summit a few years, but that's the nature of technology. We all know kind of the hype cycles that these things take a while to launch, but it is seeing that some of these are really finally ready to take off. And boy, particularly like just looking at car, where you're also seeing all the move towards autonomous driving, and particularly this being another unique area where you're kind of creating applications that are a big part of the day. It's just, is your developer kind of mapping out your strategy? So many considerations. And I haven't even talked too much about kind of other stuff that's happening out there, like virtual reality and augmented reality and all these tremendous opportunities for developers. That's kind of important as we're educating and they're getting this other stuff, because there's so many options and paths they can go down, and they need to kind of figure out both what their best opportunities are, but also kind of what really excites them, what they want to do, because it's just such a great time for developers with so many choices. You just need to make them informed and learn what you can.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it's a big event, kicking off the year, obviously connected with CES as well. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of people involved in this as well. So, great sessions, executive keynote panels, entertainment obviously is always fun too. So
Yeah.
A lot happening there. So if someone attends this event, obviously you'll see a lot going on. So it'll be big. But hey, Ed, we definitely appreciate the great insight on this. Obviously, it looks like this year's event, or 2016 event, will be bigger than past ones. So we'll get some great insight there, and again, follow up with you guys after the event too. But hey, thanks so much for the time today. We definitely appreciate it.
No, again, thanks, Dan, for taking the time for this interview. I appreciate it. Thanks much.
All right, that sounds great. Thanks.
Take care. Bye.